looks like we're online here. Alrighty, well, we are back. Finally back again to do some more Pokemon Run and Bun with our current furthest hardcore Nuzlocke attempt. Yeah, it's been a little bit, but we are finally going to be tackling Seafloor and Cavern today. This is another one of the considered hardest sections of the game, as I'll explain in a little bit. And it's the last of the evil team sections before the end of the game. So we're coming close to the end, but this section of the game isn't to be taken. It's internet disconnected for a quick second there. Alright, well, yeah, so today, I would love to be able to tackle the first two fights, in Seafloor Cavern. The first one, I have a line that I'm pretty sure is pretty much riskless. The second fight, though, is the scariest fight. One of the scariest fights. A lot of people have wiped to the second fight of this section, so yeah, so that's what we're gonna hope to do today. I think I have a pretty good line for the second fight, but there is some risk at the beginning of the fight that I would hopefully like to avoid, so yeah. Let me see. Okay, yeah, we're online here. Alright, so why don't we go ahead and start with the first fight here. I already got my team pre-prepped and everything. All the right items pre-damaged. So we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and do this here. Sylvia Miguel, what's up in the chat? Thanks for popping in. Hope you're having a good day today so far. My day's going pretty good. Nice chill day, thankfully. Able to enjoy the weekend so far. Let me see, let me change the font size really quick here. Alright, so let's go ahead and head on to this first fight here. Let's see. Make sure we have everything. So here's the first fight. So let me go ahead and save. I am playing a ROM hack Pokemon Emerald called Run&Bun. It's considered currently one of the hardest fan-made versions of a Pokemon game. And I'm doing a challenge called a Nuzlocke where if any of your Pokemon faint, they're considered dead. You can no longer use them. DumbBum41, what's good, bro? Thanks for popping in the chat. Hope you're having a good day today so far. Alright, so triple check that I have all the right items one last time. Alright. So yeah, I'll explain why these fights are so difficult as I go. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and do this here? Alright, so this is the first Team Aqua Grunt in Seafloor and Cavern. Alright, and in this section of the game, the reason why it's so difficult is because there's permanent Aurora Veil, which in Pokemon games, it's basically both Reflect and Light Screen at the same time. So you just deal half damage. And it's permanently up, so you have to find ways to try to get rid of it. There's a few ways you can. The way I'm going to do that here is with my Corviknight using Defog. Which is going to get rid of the Aurora Veil to help me out a lot. Sylvia, I really appreciate the sub. Really appreciate that. Alright, so this Kingdra has the Sniper ability, which doubles it critical hits and is holding a Scope Lens to increase the chance. Right now, it's either going to go for Octazooka, or it's going to use Focus Energy to try to increase its critical hit chance. So I'm going to go for Defog, getting rid of Aurora Veil, and then see what it goes for here. Alright, so there's a Focus Energy. So we Defog. And that gets rid of the Aurora Veil. So now, with the Aurora Veil gone, again, Kingdra's gonna go for Octazooka. I'm gonna swap to my Hydreigon. And this Octazooka has a good chance of now critting, but it's totally fine if it does. So we're gonna go for Hydreigon here. So there's Octazooka. There's the crit. So we accounted for that. And Octazooka could have also had a chance to lower our accuracy. But because we used Defog on the Kingdra, it also lowered its evasiveness. So if we had lowered our accuracy, then it would have counteracted. So now we can just outspeed and one-shot with a Draco Meteor. I'm holding a Choice Scarf. Not to outspeed this Kingdra, but to outspeed the Crobat that's in this party. So after I KO Kingdra, what should come in next is the Executor, because I outspeed everything with Choice Scarf. So we'll go for Draco here. Our special attack falls, which is accounted for. And we should see Executor come in. Perfect. Now this Executor, Alolan Executor, is really scary because it has Explosion and it's holding a Quick Claw. So just giving it a 10% chance, or I believe 20% chance, to go first and possibly explode. But right now, because I was pre-damaged, it only sees a KO with Low Kick. Because it sees a KO and it's at full health, it'll never go for Explosion. So I'm going to swap to my Golisopod on the incoming Low Kick, and we're going to take it pretty well. Perfect. Alright, and now to tackle this Executor and its Quick Claw, my Golisopod has the move First Impression, which will out-prioritize this Executor. Even if the Quick Claw procs, we'll still out-prioritize, and with a Choice Band, we always one-shot with First Impression here. Whew. So Executor goes down. Next we should see Honchkrow come in. Perfect. Alright, and this Haunch Crow also has a Scope Lens with Super Luck, giving it almost guaranteed critical hits, which is pretty scary. It also has Substitute, but right now it sees a guaranteed KO with Brave Bird, so it's always going to go for that. And we're going to swap to my Aerodactyl, who can take even a critical hit Brave Bird pretty well. So go Van Halen, take a Brave Bird. Yeah, we eat that. And then now, we are going to Mega Evolve, and we can one-shot this Haunch Crow with Rock Slide. Perfect. Alright, and Rock Slide is 100% accurate in this game, thankfully. Alright, so now we should see, what's it called? The Magnezone come in. Perfect. Alright, and this Magnezone sees a KO on my Aerodactyl with either Thunder or Flash Cannon. Either of which is perfectly fine for us to swap into my Excadrill. We won't take damage from Thunder, and I will take minimal damage from Flash Cannon if it goes for it. So we're going to swap onto either one of those moves here. Yep, so there's a Thunder. Good, so... And this thing does have Magnet Pull, but we don't care because we can just outspeed one shot with Earthquake. Alright, and now we are pre-damaged precisely. In case of Thunderbolt getting hit by Thunder, this should always bring in the Gorbis next. Perfect. Alright, and this Gorbis is a little scary because it has Shell Smash, which you could use to set up. But at this HP, and let me triple check this. Yeah, this HP, Gorbis sees a guaranteed KO with Surf. So it's always going to go for the KO rather than setting up. So I'm going to swap back to my Golisopod, who I also pre-damaged so that after the Executor, I can proc an emergency exit from here. So we'll go to Golisopod. We'll take the incoming Surf. Perfect. So we get emergency exit, and we're gonna swap into my Hisuian Electrode. Alright, and we simply outspeed, and with a Life Orb, we could one-shot with either Energy Ball or Thunderbolts. Alright, so Gorbis goes down, take a little bit of Life Orb. Oh, we see it's wider Glitch. Alright, and then lastly is a Crobat, which has Nasty Plot, but I can't use it because we outspeed and two-shot. So right now, a Life Orb Thunderbolt doesn't quite KO this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Volt Switch, as right now it sees a guaranteed KO with always Sludge Wave. So I'm going to Volt Switch, doing some damage. And because it's going for Sludge Wave, I can swap to... I can go to Excadrill here to take no damage. Perfect. Alright, now this Crobat does outspeed, but it can't go for Nasty Plot here because it sees that I can potentially KO it with Iron Head. So instead, it's going to go for highest damaging move, which in this case is Giga Drain, which means I can go back to my Electrode, which will take little damage from this Giga Drain here. Yep. This won't do that much damage, even with the Life Orb. And now we can just simply outspeed and one-shot with Thunderbolt. Alright, and there we go. Very clean, riskless line for the first grunt here. Alright. Very nice start here. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and head back now. And heal up. Let's see, can we fly here? No. I'll have to use... I'll have to dive underneath here. I don't know where the optionals are around here, so I'm gonna save. So let's go up here. Oh! Good thing I went down. It's... Alright, let's get the heck out of here. Alright. And those optional fights are no joke. It's definitely have to avoid them when possible. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and save. And I do have the next fight planned. So we're gonna get that set up. This fight is very scary. It is one of the hardest. A lot of people have lost attempts at this next fight, so and my line isn't 100% riskless, so it is a little scary. So I'm gonna get that set up, but I'm gonna need to go use the Risham first. So let me do that real quick. Let's get this next fight set up here. So, for this next fight, we need... we're keeping Corviknight. And we're keeping Golisopod. And we're keeping Hydreigon as well. Marky Peters, what's up, bro? Thanks for popping in the chat. Hope your weekend's going alright so far. So for this we need Primarina. Yeah. We need, let's see, Hydreigon. We already have. We're keeping Aerodactyl, and then we have someone coming out of the box for the first time in a while, which is Galvantula. Which, surprisingly enough, is gonna be a key figure for this fight here. Right. So, and let's see, we need to level up level them up to the level cap. Let me make sure I have that in the calc here. Yeah. So, let's go level them up here. Level 89. And we need to give him the choice specs. I don't think I need any other choice item for this fight. I don't think so. I just need to get a choice spec. So let me go do that. Let's go Sleeport. Let's swap it out. Choice specs. Give those to Galvantula. Alright, and then let's go back to Sutopolis. Zell Express. Good evening, bro. Thanks for popping in the chat. I'm not sure if that's how your username's pronounced. But yeah, I think I'm having a good evening. Good evening to yourself. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Thanks for popping in. How's everything going for you? Oh, I really appreciate that, Zell. It's... Oh yeah, dang. No, I heard that there's a huge snowstorm all over this weekend. But thankfully it's I live in Los Angeles, so we're pretty cool over here on weather. But really appreciate the follow. Really appreciate when any other people who like Run&Bun pop in. Do you play Run&Bun? Have you done any attempts for this game? So, for items, I don't need item for Corviknight. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's... Run&Bun is definitely a really fun but very difficult and soul-crushing game. You actually tuned in at a good time. I'm about to face the second fight in Seafloor Cavern, which people have wiped attempts at that fight. So, and I don't have a completely riskless line for it, so a little scary. But I'll feel a lot better if I get past this fight. Yeah, this is my current furthest attempt that I've gone so far. So. Oh yeah, that was, so I just did that fight. So let me scroll down here. So this is fight number 2 for Seafloor Cavern. So you could take a look at the set there and see why it's pretty scary. Yeah, so this is pretty scary team, and I don't know if you already know, but in Seafloor Cavern in this game, the enemy has a permanent Aurora Veil that's set up at the start of the fight, so that's another thing that you have to deal with. Chris, what's up, bro, in the YouTube chat? Good to see you again. Thanks for popping back in. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. Yeah, exactly. It's basically like Reflected and Light Screen combined. So yeah, I mean, it's not the worst thing, but it is part of the risk that I have to take for this fight. So if I can get past the first few turns of this fight without some unluck, then I should be pretty much riskless for the rest of the fight, but it's very razor thin, so... Alright, so let me check my HP, we're looking good here. Alright, so for this fight, I do need to use another one of my heart scales to maximize my Galvantula's speed IV. Because unfortunately I caught him with a minus speed nature. So, using another heart scale here. And we want speed. Alright. And just triple check that here. Okay, good. Yeah, that's gonna be needed for this fight. Alright, so, and then for pre-damaging, I need Corviknight at 180 HP, so let me do that here. Damage. Alright, good. I need... Let's see, Golisopod at 125 HP. Good. Let's see, I need... Let me just triple check that my free damage here is correct for Golisopod. Because I need to be able to get 2 emergency exits for this fight. He needs a citrus berry. Alright. His current max HP is 243. Half of that is 121 and a half. So I've already pre-damage to be... I need to be above half, above 121. Minimum roll of liquidation on Swampert is 36. Got that. Max roll crit is 63. Have that. Citrus berry recovery at 243 health is 60 HP. Good. So that gets me above back half health guaranteed. And then minimum Iron Tail is 33. Yeah, so this should be all correct here. Oh yeah, Goliath is gonna pop off this fight. He's actually he's been sitting in my box this whole time, but he's actually gonna be the star for this fight, funnily enough. And I'll explain why as I do the fight. So, alright, so we're good on HP here. Galvantula doesn't need to be pre-damaged. Primarina doesn't need to be pre-damaged. But Hydreigon needs to be pre-damaged to 126 HP. Let me do that here. $126. Alright, good. Yeah, that's outside of Gyarados' range. And it's only in range of Focus Punch from the Alolan Muck. Yeah, and then don't need a pre-damage Aerodactyl here. And I did teach him Aerial Ace already. Alright, good. Alright, so this should be the team that'll do it. But still very nerve-wracking. It's but I think this is as good as I can get it here. Alright, so let's go and head back to Seafloor Cavern here. Oh no. No, not there. I'm gonna go up here. Make sure I'm not running into any optionals here. Alright, so we went this way. We can go down here. Yeah, like I said, if we can get past some unluck in the first part of the fight here, we should be pretty much good for the rest of the fight. So alright, and then we go down this way. And here we go. Alright, here we go. Let's go head up to grunt number 2 here. Pretty sure it's just that guy right there. I don't know what's up here. Yeah, I'm gonna cave just in case. What's up here? Oh yeah, that's just the path back out. Alright. Alright, cool. So, we save. And just triple check everything one last time. So, no item. 180. 125 citrus. Choice specs, max speed IV, no item, 126, and Aerodactylite, Aerial Ace. Alright. I think we are good. Let me just triple check the calc one last time. Choice specs. Oh yeah, I do need a pre-dam. Oh, good thing I caught this. I do need a slightly pre-damage Galvantula to 237 HP. Let me see. Yeah, that was a good catch. Let's do that here. Let's see, how much was it again? 237. Yeah, just a little bit, but it's important. Good. And then again for Dragon. Sure, I have that updated in there. Update that here. Okay. Yeah, this fight is scary, so I can't be. I have to make sure I have everything 100% accounted for. Yeah, I had to manually update that because if you use the heart scale in game, it doesn't get updated in the calc until you've updated it yourself. So I just did that here, and I needed that. I needed that specifically to outspeed this Gyarados here. It's just barely. Well, I think this is good. Let me just triple check one last thing. Let me see here. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we're no good. We're good. Oh yeah, so for the calculator for Run&Bun and for some other games, there's a color coding thing that you can turn on, which will give you some information about if there's a light blue highlight over, that means they outspeed. If you have a green on your side, that means you can KO. Yellow means it's a range, and red means you can get KO'd. And then blue and light blue here means you wall the opponent. So it's very helpful information to be able to determine which mons work best for each specific counters here. So, really appreciate whoever designed this, because it makes planning fights way more helpful. Yeah, but not every calculator has that, so yeah. If I didn't have that for this game, that would easily add like double the time it would take me to prep. All right, well, I think we are good to go. I've looked over everything, so nothing left but to take this guy down. Alright. Okay. As long as we don't get some really bad luck, pretty bad luck here, we should be good. Alright. Let's do this. Alright, Aqua Grunt number 2. Alright, so again we have the Aurora Veil set up here. So this grunt leads a Swampert, and this Swampert is a little annoying because it's holding a Rindo Berry. And with the Aurora Veil set up, you just simply can't one-shot it. And it has Stealth Rocks, which you can set up. So what I'm going to do here is basically it's almost guaranteed to set up rocks turn 1. So I'm just going to defog to get rid of the Aurora Veil, and it's most likely going to set up rocks here. Yeah, so there's the Stealth Rocks. Alright, so now this is where I need to not get unlucky here. So, because now it's not the first turn, and the Stealth Rocks are up, it's now going to go for Liquidation. And I'm pre-damaged, so that after I take a Liquidation, my Corviknight is always dead to another Liquidation, which will prevent it from setting up Stealth Rocks the next turn. The thing that I really do not want to have happen here is to get crit. If I don't get crit by the Liquidation, that pretty much wipes all the risk from this fight. But if I do, then there's some risk that could happen later in this fight. So I'm going to click Defog, getting rid of the Stealth Rocks. And hopefully I don't get crit by this Liquidation here. Alright, so please don't crit. Thank you. Okay, good. Whew, alright. That was good. Let me see. Yeah, so that's exactly what we wanted. That was actually a max roll. So now because of the pre-damage, my Corviknight is always guaranteed KO'd by another Liquidation. So Swampert has to use that over Stealth Rocks. So knowing that, I'm going to swap to my Gliscopod, who is pre-damaged, so that I can get my first emergency exit here. So we'll go Gliscopod. So good, so there's a Liquidation. We get a critical, we accounted for a critical hit here. So Citrus will bring us back above half health, and we get our emergency exit. Perfect. And I am going to swap to my Galvantula. Alright, and this Galvantula, he's kind of been sitting in my box for most of this run, but on this fight in particular, he's the GOAT, because he has the Unnervability. So because this Swampert is holding a Rindo Berry that halves grass damage, but the Nervability ignores that. So with a Choice Specs, I can just simply now outspeed and one-shot with an Energy Ball, which is a guaranteed KO here. Alright, so Swampert goes down. Next thing that should come in is the Haxorus. Perfect. Alright, and this Haxorus is very scary because it's got Outrage, which I've slightly pre-damaged myself so that Haxorus always sees a KO with it. It has Dragon Dance, so if I was at full health, you could have potentially used Dragon Dance, which would be very scary. That I would pretty much get wiped if he does that. But he won't use it since he sees that guaranteed KO. So since he's going for Outrage, I'm going to swap to my Primarina to prevent the Outrage from being used here. Alright, good. Alright, so now, again, Haxorus here also can't use Dragon Dance this turn because it sees that my Primarina one-shots with Moonblast. So, if the AI sees that it can get one-shot, it'll never use a setup move. So it's going to use its highest damaging move, which is Iron Tail. It's... yeah, Lana Del Rey here. Alright, so... because it's guaranteed to go for Iron Tail here as its highest damaging move, I'm going to swap back to my Golisopod, and because I used that Citrus Berry, I can get a second emergency exit here. Oh, he missed. Oh. Oh, I didn't account for that. Wait, oh no, I did... hold up. I did account for that. Oh no, I didn't. It's, oh, that's bad. Well... yeah, so I was supposed to get hit there. But unfortunately he missed. I didn't account for that. Oh man, I knew something was gonna happen this fight. It happens to everybody. Frick. Alright, well, I'm at 130 HP, so it does see some killing rolls with Outrage. But it's not a guaranteed KO, so it could potentially set up a Dragon Dance here. But I think that should still be fine. Because I can just go back to Prim and just repeat the cycle again, because if he does set up Dragon Dance, he'll still only go for Iron Tail on Prim, and then I can just swap back again. So I think we're perfectly fine. So we're just gonna go back to Prim on either Outrage or Dragon Dance here. Yeah, so there's a Dragon Dance, which is pretty scary. Oh wait, no, that is actually very bad. Because now it just outspeeds everything in my team. Oh shit. Damn. Yeah, that's... oh, yeah, that's very bad. Well, looks like I need to steer now. And this is a very terrible position. Yeah, because now, since it set up Dragon Dance, I was supposed to KO this thing with my Hydreigon after after the emergency exit. But now my Hydreigon just gets outspeeded in one shot by Outrage. That's Let me see. Yeah, so yeah, I have to go for the KO with Primarina here. I am dead to a crit though. So if that happens, I just wipe. So, but I don't have any other play. Yeah, I have to risk the crit here. This is my only out. All right, come on, Primarina, please don't get crit here. Come on, come on. Oh, okay. Whew. Oh my gosh. Alright, okay, we're still alive, but we're not out of this by any means, because we're completely off script now. I believe, Gyarados is gonna come in next. Yeah. And let's see, I'm at 61. Gyarados sees a KO with either Waterfall or Earthquake. Alright, so I need to see what I need to do here, so actually, I think this might work because Golisopod didn't get hit. I can get my second emergency exit, and then I can swap to Galvantula and KO with Volt Switch. And then if I Volt Switch into Hydreigon, I should still bait Muck, which maintains my my plan for him. Okay, yeah, so I think we're actually good here. Let me just see. So after that, I take out Muck. I can still bait Roserade. We still can go Corviknight, and then bait HP Fire into Aerodactyl KO. And then that just leaves Bruxish going for Aqua Tail, which I think at the very end I need to dodge crits with Hydreigon potentially. Oh no, I could go, if it's Aqua Tail, I can go Golisopod, and then potentially bait Psychic Veins. Alright, so I think my line is actually still intact, because this Gyarados also has Dragon Dance, but it always is a guaranteed KO with either Waterfall or Earthquake, and those are guaranteed accurate moves, so I don't need to worry about it missing. So I can swap to Golisopod and get my emergency exit off, and then bring in Galvantula again for the KO. And I can use Volt Switch to get my Hydreigon in. to bait in Muck. And we should be good from there. So, yeah. Yeah, I think this should still work. So, let's go Galissapod here, get our emergency exit. Yeah, so there's Waterfall. Good. We get emergency exit, perfect. We bring in Galvantula. And just like with the Swampert, this thing is holding a Walken Berry to receive half damage from any electric type moves. But again, because of a nerve, we can ignore that. And with the choice specs, we can one-shot with Volt Switch, getting our free switch. Woo! Okay. Alright. Alright, so Gyarados goes down. And then if we bring in Hydreigon now, it should be guaranteed Muck still. Yeah. And this is perfect. So we're gonna go Hydreigon. So we should see Muck. Alright, good. Perfect. Okay, alright. So this we're it's thank God, we're still intact here. Alright, so this Muck, he's also very scary because he also has Explosion. And he has Focus Punch with a Bright Powder. The Bright Powder makes it so that you could potentially miss, making it deal huge damage with Focus Punch. But right now, I'm pre-damaged so that the Muck always sees a KO with Focus Punch. And the way that Focus Punch works is that it always goes second, but if you attack it and interrupt it, you won't get an attack off. So what I can do, and to counter the Bright Powder, I can use Aura Sphere, which is guaranteed accurate. This bypasses the Bright Powder, and Muck will continue to go for Draco Meteors because it sees a KO, and at above 10% health, the AI will always go for a KO rather than use Explosion. So we can KO this thing with, I believe, 2... We'll need to do at least 3 Aura Spheres into a Draco for a guaranteed KO here. Yeah, so we're gonna go for Aura Sphere, and it should be always going for Focus Punches here. Alright, perfect. So there's the Focus Punch. Use Aura Sphere. And it can't move. Perfect. Alright. And the cool thing is that we outspeed this Muck. So even if it does get below 10% health, we'll be able to KO it before it has a chance to use Explosion. So, it should never be able to explode. We should always just be able to whittle it down with Aura Spheres. So, go for another one here. Yep, there's another Focus Punch. Alright, let me see. I didn't calc this because normally I would have used a Draco Meteor on the Haxorus, so I'd be doing half damage. Yeah, Aura Sphere normally has no chance of dealing with 4-hit KO, so we have to do 5 hits here. So let's go for another one. Yep, there's another Focus Punch. Good. Again, it should always go for Focus Punch here. Perfect. Alright, now, again, so now he is probably below 10% health, so he can explode here, but again, we outspeed, and we'll just simply KO it. So, if we don't see it focusing up, we know that it clicked explosion, but it doesn't matter because we still outspeed it. So, Orsville will just KO it here. Yeah. So, it was going to explode there, but we take it out. Whew, alright. We're doing really good here. So, now, next thing that's going to come in is the Roserade. Alright, and this Roserade also is holding a Bright Powder. It's, and it also has Sleep Powder to try to put you to sleep. But with this pre-damage, Roserade will either go for Sludge Bomb or use Sleep Powder. So either of which is perfectly fine, because we can go back to Corviknight. We are immune to Sludge Bomb, and we don't care if we get put to sleep. So yeah, so we're gonna go to Corviknight here on either Sludge Bomb or Sleep Powder. Let's see. There's a Sludge Bomb. Alright, good. Alright, so now, with this pre-damage, the Roserade sees a guaranteed KO with HP Fire. So we can't use Sleep Powder here. So because of that, I can now go to Aerodactyl, which can take an HP Fire pretty well. And it won't use Sleep Powder here. Yep, perfect. So there's HP Fire. Deals very little to us. Alright, and now, again, this thing has Bright Powder, but to counteract that, I'm gonna Mega Evolve into Mega Aerodactyl, and Aerial Ace is guaranteed accurate and simply one-shots this Roserade here. Whew, alright. Van Halen. Alright, so now all that's left is a Bruxish. And so now I need to take a look here. This Bruxish, I can't KO it with Aerodactyl, and it sees a guaranteed KO with Aqua Tail. So I need to be careful here, because I need to KO this thing with Hydreigon, but I'm already pretty low, so I need to make sure I'm not in range of any crits. So I think I need to go Golisopod first. So let me see. Golisopod is at 94 HP. Max roll, Aqua Tail, and it does 79. So let's see. 94 minus 79. I would be left at 15 HP. And that would be a random move, so that wouldn't be good. so I can't go Galissapod. I can't go Corviknight. Can't go Prim. Yeah, it's got Life Orb too, so it deals too much damage. Because the problem is, if I go directly to Bruxish, if I go to Hydreigon right now, I'll live a max roll. I would live a max roll Aqua Tail, but then he would go for Aqua Jet, and I'd be dead. And I can't risk that. So I think, unfortunately, even though Goliath popped off this fight, I think I need to sack him in order to guarantee the win here. Because I can't risk losing Hydreigon to a crit. And I can't switch to anything else. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but we're gonna have to let go of Galvantula here, because unfortunately, even with the maxing his speed, he just doesn't outspeed Bruxish. If he wasn't a minus speed nature, he would have outsped, but unfortunately he doesn't. So yeah, so Goliath, really appreciate you stepping up for this fight, but I'm gonna have to let you go here, buddy. Alright, so Goliath, appreciate your service. Unfortunate loss there, but now we can get Hydreigon back in without taking damage. And we simply outspeed and one-shot with Dark Pulse as it goes for Aqua Jet, which we always live a crit. Whew. Let's freaking go. Oh man, I can't believe I made it out of that fight. Oh gosh. Oh man. Oh wow. That's crazy. Man. It's so funny because almost every like YouTuber that I've seen like do this fight, every one of them had something go wrong. I've never seen a clean fight done for this fight ever. So I guess I'm continuing on that that theme here. I'm gonna go back and heal, but let me, just in case of any, if I don't want to run into an Optimal or so, let me just heal up my guys here, just in case. Let me lead Prim, just in case. Alright, so let me see. Let's go back up here, and I'm gonna immediately... press pause so I don't trigger a fight. Whew. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're good, we're good. Let's get the frick out of here. Alright, well, this run is still alive. I don't know how we made it past that, but unfortunate loss, but definitely not in vain. So really very honorable death here from Goliath. He will be missed. Alright. Well, that was a very eventful fight. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end things there for tonight, because I can't prep for any more fights after that. That's it's whew, my heart is still like okay, but let me update the death counter here. We're now at 17. Alright, well, this was definitely a very eventful stream. Zell, the Fallen Saint, really appreciate you guys tuning in. It was a pleasure having you guys watch this fight. You guys definitely lucked and popped in on a good one here. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end there. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, a good rest of your weekend. Hopefully I'll see you guys again in another stream sometime soon. But yeah, I'll catch you guys all next time.